background music. You can hear it in the background. And I think it's the, gosh, Dazed and Confused soundtrack. But so once we get to 6 o'clock, which is, or 5 o'clock, there we go. Boom. We're live there. Just want to make sure. Wow, the background looks pretty cool. I'm looking at that on YouTube. I got YouTube over here. I got the slideshow over here. So once we get started at 6 o'clock, then we'll get the show underway. But yeah, the background looks doesn't look too bad. So the green screen is holding up behind me. That's pretty cool. I wonder if you can see the green through there. Not so. All right, there we go. Let's get this show underway. We're about 30 seconds away, but I know we're supposed to have this on Tuesday. Actually, we're doing it when we can, but at least once a week. Jackson, unfortunately, can't be here, and I'll tell you in a second. But let's get it underway. What's up, everybody? This is Manny V, and welcome to episode 318 of Pitted with Action and Manny V. Action is not going to be here this week. He's got a full load with his job, and which is great. I'd love to see that he's up and about, but he'll be back next week. And then on the following week, that August 6th week, we'll get another one in. And then I will be broadcasting live from Abu Dhabi. I do have a group heading out to Surf Abu Dhabi for Epic Surf Tours. I'm leaving on the 9th, getting there on the 10th, and then the group shows up on the 12th, and we have about 5 days out surfing, riding the best artificial wave on the planet, Surf Abu Dhabi. The cool thing is, the general manager, Ryan Watkins, is an old school bodyboarder from South Africa. We all hung out on the North Shore in the mid 90s, so it's going to be great to see him again. But we'll have Jackson next week and the following week, and then we'll see if we can do a live from Surf Abu Dhabi. The time difference is going to be the what we're going to work on, and I would love to sit down with podcast with Ryan Watkins and just catch up with him. So thank you guys, or if you guys are chiming in. And what I want to do today is just a quick little chit chat about Indonesia. Again, Jackson, he won't be with us, but and once we get him back, we'll do the shout outs, the bodyboarding news, and the video of the week. And of course, his Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday motivation. But what I wanted to do is just talk about, let me share this screen. Just a couple stories. I have a group of guys, they've been wanting to go back to Indonesia. And gosh, I don't. I'll tell you the reason why it's going to be tough for me to get that going again. It's the crowds because most of the guys, they're going to be coming from California. It's a long flight. It takes a day to get there. You're jet lagged for the first few days, and to show up to crowded waves is what I'm afraid of. But like all trips, we're the first ones in the water. We're paddling out at dark. We're going to get about a half hour of the waves to ourselves, and then the onslaught of international surfers, bodyboarders, everybody just shows up. My worry is that there's more people like us going there where they're out in the water at dark. In 2010, I feel like we are the only ones in the water at first light for at least an hour. And then people showed up. So, but I think, yeah, and if we do it, it's going to happen in July because that's when Chris, he's a teacher. And if we do make it happen, it's got to be in July or, June, July, because he works until I think the end of May into early June. So if it goes down, I'll take another look. But looking at these photos from 2010 kind of got me stoked again. And I posted it on Instagram. And yeah, it's so epic. So let's go over here. I have all the photos on my website, Manny V Photo. but we're going to start on the first. Was this the first day, July 14th? Yeah. So July 14th was one of the first days we arrived. And this is what I'm talking about. Like we were the first ones in the water. This is Jay Fajardo. Jaycation is his nickname. But and this is Padang Padang. We stayed maybe a short 10-minute walk to this break. And if we go back, there's a Brazilian bodybuilder who has a hotel that's about, gosh, not that much further, maybe a 12-minute walk to this spot. But he's also pretty close to the other spot called Bingen. But Padang Padang, it was serving up some perfect little waves to, to get going. But there was no one out. There was nobody out on this day. Well, this morning. And it was just us trying to find the little in and out barrels. It was smaller, but I mean, you tell me, is it better to show up to a location you've never been with the waves small and then getting bigger, or do you want to show up and it's macking? Um, because I like this because we showed up and it was like 2 to 3 foot, and then it ended up getting bigger as the day went on. But you can see it was just us out there, and I was in the water shooting photos. Jay, Brett Billings, Mark, and Chris were the ones in the water for about an hour or so, and then people started showing up. But um, I'm afraid if we go back out there, I don't know. Maybe maybe nobody's out there at that time still to this day. And it happens, I have these surf trips to Cabo and, bodyboarding waves in Cabo, mostly empty wherever we go, but surf waves in Cabo. Um, we're usually in the water first light and we have it for about a half hour until people show up. So, it's always been like that. So I'm wondering if it's still like that in Indo. Again, this was 2010. Yeah, there's Jaycation. And that little cave over here, right back here at high tide, and when there's big waves, I lost my board in there a couple times, and it's so sketchy because all this lava rock right here is so sharp. And whenever you see people getting tore up on their back, their legs, whatever, this type of lava rock is underwater where people are pulling into the barrel. So um, it's, but if on a bodyboard, I mean, you can totally avoid it. Although, who was it? There was, Alex Leon was there when we were there one time, and yeah, he pulled into a bomb, and his back was just tore up from the reef. And the thing to do, I don't know if it's true or not, but to kill the bacteria, you grab a bunch of limes and you just start rubbing that shit into the cuts. And it is the most pain that you will encounter if you have to do that in the tropics. But that's what people say you got to do. There's Jaycation. So do we do it again? Do we go back to Indo? That's the big question. Because I would love to go back to this. This is like it's paradise, and just the whole culture as well. Indonesian culture on Bali is the most diverse. You got Christians, you got Catholics, you got uh, Jewish people, you have Hindu and Buddhist and Muslim. Hindu is the most prominent one on Bali, but outside of Bali and all the other islands, it's straight up Muslim. And they're used to the Westerners coming to their islands and being Westerners. But if you're respectful, straight up respectful, then you're going to be treated, in the same way. So here's day number two. As you can tell, the waves are going to be getting bigger, and that rock is synonymous with this break called Padang Padang. And that rock sits just on the inside to it's deeper than the takeoff zone. So if you see that rock, it's Padang Padang. And yeah, we spent the next morning heading out here at first light. And yeah, we just line up perfectly. And, anytime after 8 o'clock, everybody and their mom's out there. So our goal was to get out there before anybody. And when it's small, You're not going to get all the pro surfers that roll through. They usually go over to Uluwatu because the wave is a little bit longer and it breaks a little further out and it's not as shallow. But Padang Padang, it does get shallow, but it's perfect. So this was day two. Oh man, some of the waves. Trying to pull up some perfect waves, but yeah. So this is Brett Billings. So what you do is you all this water out here is rushing, and then it comes to the inside and it rushes this way, and then it hits that cliff, and then there's a current that pulls you straight out. And when you're done surfing, you got to come all the way to this break and then catch it in. Because if you try to come straight in, you're going to be going against the current. But that's where the left is over here at Padang Padang. I think I don't know if this is all full of houses now, but these houses are in the millions of dollars, and of course they are. They're going to be freaking right on the water of perfection. Um, but that's Padang Padang. Um, oh gosh, who's this one? Brett Billings. I think this was earlier in the session, but it's just perfect. Perfection. And if you've never been barreled, this trip you will be barreled. And this is like we don't roll too deep. Oh my God, look at that. Sick. I haven't seen most of these photos. I went through some of them uh as I was making a Instagram post, but it's just so perfect. You can go deeper, you can go on the shoulder, depends how comfortable you are, but look how shallow it is right here. That is the reef right here, and it does get pretty shallow and it does have that lava rock sharpness. Um, but Padang Padang was good to us. I think let's go to, oh, perfect. Look at that shot. Early morning. So there's that rock, Padang Padang rock. And then over here, way over there is Uluwatu. I don't know if there's any waves in between there, but Uluwatu. And if you come to the inside over here, it's called racetracks and it's freaking pretty phenomenal. Did we do it? Do we do it? That's going to be the question all through the whole slideshow. But so we decompress when we get there for about 3 days. We surf Uluwatu and Padang Padang and stay on they call it the Bukit. It's the smaller part of Bali on the bottom. It looks like an hourglass. Oh, what happened in the photo? Here we go. That's Chris. Um, but if it looks like an hourglass, and on the bottom, the hourglass is smaller, but that's called the Bukit. And down there is where you find Padang Padang and Uluwatu. So we hang out there for a few days right when we land, and then we get on a plane to my favorite wave. Oh, here's some more Uluwatu. Oh, you know what? Dang, this is going to take a while because all of this is epic. So, yeah, so this is the view from the top of the cliff. We're watching. This is so far away. This is about a mile and a half down the beach. Um, and this is 2010. I don't know what it looks like now of all the construction going on. But yeah, it was pretty untouched back then. What's up, Ricky? I see oh yeah. So Ricky's been on a couple trips, two or three. Shit, I lost count. But there was paddling out to a place you've never been to before, and holding all your trust and faith in me to make sure you guys don't get all jacked up. I love you guys for trusting me, but that's what it's going to take to get empty waves. Um, but Uluwatu is that other break down the beach, and this one you got to walk down stairs, and then you get to this beach over here, and then you got to paddle out through this. It looks like a cave, but it's just a big old opening in the rock formation. And I think there was a better shot of us walking down. But yeah, it's Uluwatu is pretty awesome. And we don't surf Uluwatu. I wish I had a top view. Oh yeah, here we go. Do we have a top view? Perfect. So there's a bunch of these little restaurants that are etched into the side of the cliff. They're called warongs. And this wave over here is called racetracks. And that wave is super shallow. And people, we usually hang out on that thing over here because nobody's ever there because it's super shallow and it's super fast and barely. Everybody else hangs out way on the other side over here. You'll get a couple surfers that go over to racetracks, but it's pretty perfect. Um, so let's see if I can. Yeah, most people are hanging out over here. You'll get a few people. This area right here is called racetracks, super fast and shallow. And I think over here is another spot, but that's where we usually hang out because that's where most people don't want to go. And then we have food once we're done with the session, which is pretty good. Nasi goreng and mee goreng. Ricky, do you remember if you had? Oh, I think you probably had everything. We had the jaffles. Jaffles are pretty much paninis, but Indonesian style. Um, but yeah, it was, and the you don't know what's going to happen. This day, the Red Bull girls showed up to the hotel, and we just got jacked up on Red Bull. But yeah, look at us. We all look fit. I had hair. Son of a bitch. I had hair. Yeah, Mark, Jay, Chris, all of us. We look freaking pretty legit. What? Look like rugby players. Ricky, do you remember that one time? We got back to Kuda and I think there were six, seven, eight of us, but it was the Husky boys. And we roll into this bar and it was Australians treat Bali like eh, Bali is Australia as US is to Mexico. Like all the American surfers go to Mexico. It's cheaper, it's very exotic, it's adventurous. The Australians have Bali in Indonesia. So there's a lot of Australians. And we roll into this bar and holy crap, we look like a rugby team. Somebody even asked us if we were from New Zealand, if we were a rugby team from New Zealand. And and yeah, that was pretty funny. So this thing, let's go back to this trip. Um, there were about 10 or 13 warongs, little huts that were like little mini restaurants. Each one had their own beer, they had their own menu, and no, there wasn't that many. There was about 10 max at Padang Padang. And I'm like, oh shit, why don't we have a warong crawl? So we surfed in middle of the day. We had one of these beers, which is, gosh, maybe a 20-ounce beer. They're called bintangs. Bintang means star in Indonesian. But we had one of these at each. Look at Jay's face. This was the first one, I think. So we had a on crawl, and the last person to finish had to do, I think, 10 push-ups. And I think yeah. So here's Mark. He lost the first one. I think he did a few of them. Um, but we're gonna do that again. And you know, closer to the end, we started getting a little rowdy, but it's right on the beach. And these are all Europeans. And people were looking at us going, why are they laughing and having a good time in the middle of the day? It was like 1 o'clock and we're getting shit faced. Um, and then, oh, Ricky saying we ate all the magnums. If you guys haven't been on a trip with me, you would know. If you have been on a trip with me, you would know that I have a sweet tooth. The sweet tooth is most likely going to be the way of ice cream. And the Husky boys, wherever we went, pretty much devoured magnums, which is a chocolate covered vanilla ice cream with almonds. But we ate all the magnums everywhere we went. So the What On Crawl ended pretty well. Everybody was cracking up, and we did recruit a couple ladies. And it was just so fun. Like people wanted to be a part of the fun. So um, we had a crew, maybe like five or six, four, no, five ladies that joined us. And of course, Chris doing what he does best, and that's push-ups. And so we made it a little bit more difficult for him. So we added ladies to him. So he had to do push-ups with females on his back. But these are the warongs. And there's one there, there's one there, there's one there, there's one back here. So maybe there's like six of them. And there is Wayan back there watching the whole thing. So that was our last day in Padang. And we usually end with a fish dinner. And yeah, look at nobody was around. Damn beautiful. But yep, we did the human pyramid with some lady on top. And there's an Italian lady who took that photo, and we're still talking to her. I know Chris talks to her, I talked to her, Diana, and yeah, she was cool. So we had a fish dinner at the end, which was perfect to soak up all the alcohol. There's Chris. What's up, Chris? Thanks for chiming in, brother. Um, but yeah, that was amazing. And we had enough fish to feed pretty much anybody who wanted to show up. And I think that same night, oh, I remember this night. Maybe it was this night or one of our trips, Ricky. But we went to the fire dance, which was right across the street. But after the fire dance, we were still shit faced and we were still hungry. And the chicken saute person who was outside of this venue was wrapping up, and we're like, "Oh no, please, we're still hungry. Can you cook fire up some more saute?" So because we are like being ignorant or annoying, he didn't really cook it all the way through. So we pretty much were eating raw chicken that night. Was that with you or was that another group or with this group? Um, but yeah, oh man, little baby Wayang. And I think there's a few people in the cast that knew we were staying with one of the local hotels. So they were really extra kind to us. So that was cool. Oh man, we can go on for forever, but I want to get you guys to um my favorite wave on the planet, which is called Lakey Peak. So it's a domestic flight, and we leave. Where is it? We leave Bali and we fly over to. I think we fly over to. Oh my God, I remember that. We fly over to two or three islands to get to Sumbawa. Look at happy, 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 and like, what the fuck are these guys doing? But Jay brought this helmet. He wanted to get a shot in the water with his helmet, and we got a few of them. So that was cool. This is 2010 video technology at its finest. So I still have that camera actually, and I have like 100 of these adapters because it's a US plug. All right, so Ricky says, I think that was the trip I went in 2015 with Chris. Okay, yeah. So we had the salmonella on 2015 because it was our fault. We wanted the food and we wanted it now. So we get over to um Sumbawa, and it was awesome because we go to it's a full Muslim country, and we really didn't know what to expect except to have a good time. Wait a second, this isn't it. This is oh yeah, we went to Nusa Lembongan. Did we go to Lembongan first? I'm not sure. But we did go to a different island. I think I'll come back to this. This may be out of order, but I think we went to Sumbawa where we did some snorkeling, drift snorkel, which was amazing. But let me get us back to uh, there it is. Oh, I think we got confused a little bit. But oh, here we go. Yep. So Lakey Peak is about three or four islands over from Bali. And when you land there, you still got to drive 2 hours in the van to get to the surf camp area. And once you get there, back then, 2010, gosh, there was maybe four or five surf camps, and I'm sure there's more now. But there was two of them that were really legit that had AC, super nice restaurant, beautiful view of the peak, but the wave itself is like the most perfect peak. Even when it's blown out, it's like still perfect. So this was the tower that was there in 2010. And when we went back in 2015, they built a concrete one, which was which was insane because it looked bulletproof. And this one became in disarray. But I remember maybe it was 2010 where we did go around and collect money to help build the new one. Um, because this one was just, oh, yeah, we drink a lot of Bintangs there. There's Rocky. Rocky over here. This guy right here. He was our main, that was my main contact. He's the one that I talked to, and he helped organize the soccer game, the the mopeds when we needed them. But yeah, it's just so perfect. And then Lakey Pipe was just on the other side of the reef, and we had some freaking epic sessions over there. Were we the only ones out there during that? I mean, whenever we went to Lakey Pipe, it was us and maybe a few Groms, just because it's just so shallow over there, and I don't think a lot of the surfers wanted to deal with that. But I know when the waves were good, we brought food out to the yeah. Oh gosh. So we would load up lunch, water, and everything, and we'd stay out in the tower because the tower is about 500. Yeah, we would have to. There was one time, I think it was with Ricky, that's what he was referring to. We would have to paddle from the beach about 600 yards to the tower. And we did that, I think the night before. I knew the waves were going to be good. So we asked to have a lunchbox, and knowing we were going to stay out on the tower all day because it was going to be firing all day. Look at that, no one around. And so we paddled out. It was pretty freaking dark. I think it was like maybe 4 a.m. It was so early. I think we over predicted when the sun was going to come out, but we ended up spending the whole day out there and took advantage of the morning session. The cool thing too is we were on the tower, so when people came in, we were had all our stuff, and it would be a short paddle out to the break. So we were able to get out there when the crowd was, the least amount of people in the water. So that was freaking pretty cool. Um, but the tower was there, and we took full advantage of it. But it's just a perfect right. It's a perfect left. Whoa, who's getting shacked here? Looks like Brett. But yeah, so I can't wait to get back over there. What do you think, Ricky, Chris? Should we go back in June, July? If we go back in June, it's going to be late June or early July. And do we do 2 weeks? Because back then we did 2 weeks. 2 weeks made sense because you go so far to get there, and you want to take full advantage of, being gone that far. I can do it for 2 weeks. I know Chris can get away from 2 weeks because he has the summers off. But Ricky, Jay, I mean, everybody who's I know wanted to go back. Can you guys take those 2 weeks? I'll do a 2 week trip again. Um, and I think we can still keep it in that 25 to $2,900 range for, the all inclusive. Then you get your ass out there. Um, but if you guys are down, I'll start doing the numbers and see if we can pull this off. Whoa, that was a sick wave. Who is this? I think that might have been somebody else. There's a couple bodyboarders that we started seeing over and over. I think it was gosh, what's his name? He was one of them. This guy was always out when we were out. Do you guys remember him? Gosh, what was his name? He was super cool. But he was always out, and he was charging like every big day he was out there. Yeah, Chris, Ricky, 2026, June, late June. Um, 2 weeks. That's the question. 2 weeks. Is it doable? I know Chris can pull it off. And so right in front of the hotel is a perfect peak. And then we can take a short 5-10 minute moped ride or a 20-minute walk. And we end up to this other reef that has that. That's called periscopes, which is freaking amazing. But again, shallow reef. I think, oh yeah. So we took the mopeds. That's one of the moped drivers. I forgot all their names. But yeah, this right-hand reef is just perfect. It like does a horseshoe around the reef. And usually anywhere you go from 11 to 2 o'clock, there's going to be minimal people. And I think that's what we did. We showed up a little later. Oh my God, look at this. JK shit on the knee. But yeah, so this is right down the road from where we usually stay, Chris. Oh my God, such good freaking. I'm gonna look up the 2015 trip. This was on my website. I should put all those photos back on the web. Oh my God, look at this one, Mark. Oh, so sick. Yeah. So if it goes down, you guys tell me in the comments, can you pull off a 2 week trip? 2 weeks in away from the family, away from work. Let me know. So the cool thing that we do, what we did was we go call out. So Rocky, the guy who the main contact with, he lives a few villages over from where we stay. And I'm like, hey, Rocky, can you organize the local teams to get together and we'll play against them? And so we roll up in freaking sandals, trunks, and no shirt. They roll up in freaking, some of them even had shin guards, cleats, and I think the goalie had gloves, but we paid for a ref to make it legit. And we just, I mean, we had fun and we recruited, we walked up and down the surf camp to recruit people. And we got this girl this year, but yeah, it was just so much fun. And I don't think these guys ever played against a woman, so we brought a different element to them. So yeah, it's super fun. Mark. Now here's the funny thing. This field is this field is a few villages over and it's one of the nicer soccer fields. Oh shit, I better plug it in. There we go. Okay. Woo, I didn't have the computer plugged in. But this is one of the nicer soccer fields in the area. But even then, you have these big old cow patties, just big cow shit. You have a bunch of divots in the holes in the ground, and you still have animals still cruising around. So there's a goat. I think there was cows coming out from behind. Um, uh, and yeah, so it's it was insane. And these guys, some of them, they didn't have anything, so they came barefoot and we're down to play too. So it was freaking awesome. I think our crew when we went, um, I think we had enough for our own team, and then we played the locals. There he is again. I want to say Adam. No, it's not Adam. Gosh darn it. Do you guys remember his name? All right. Ricky says, I have the vacation time. Just hope life allows it. Is that life or wife? So I will understand either one of those. But so we will play soccer again because that was always fun. Then we come back and we have beers on the beach for sunset. I don't know how much that is now, but they're usually, $2 for those big old bottles. But full Muslim, um, uh, outside of Bali. But they understand the Westerners that drink and, are sometimes stupid and disrespectful. But for the most part, we keep it together. So yeah, definitely need to get more of that going down. And yeah, probably one of my favorite photos. So that's Sumbawa, and yeah, thank you guys for letting me go back here. So we do come back to Bali, and then we ferry over to Nusa Lembongan, and there's Dan and his wife. They were great people, super nice and humble. But we tour around. We become tourists, and we were tourists the whole time. Um, but I know one year this bridge broke actually. I don't think anybody died, but yeah, so it was crazy to see that. But we to become tourists. So we go around the island and the I think we talk to the locals and say, okay, tell us about this place, tell us about this place. And this place right here is called Devil's Tier. That was super cool because you get this super glassy and the waves breaking right behind you. Um, So yeah. All right. Ricky says life. So the wife is cool with it, but life in general. I know you have some Groms. Are they still in soccer? Are they doing all the sports? So I get it. I understand it. Here's a shot, another one of Devil's Tear with the couple, Dan and his wife. Um, and yeah, so we become tourists on Nusa Lembongan, and there's Newman, Taboo. He has a, it was so great. I can't wait to see him. He has a full family now, and but he has a surf camp or surf lessons on this island. And if we get back, we had a really great time with him. He's a musician, so we had a shit ton of beer and had him play music for us. It was freaking awesome. But yeah, we just meet cool people along the way. I don't remember this lady, but she was obviously very beautiful. But yeah, so it was definitely a good time on Limbungan. And the waves are epic too. Water's super clear. The waves are freaking perfect. Shipwrecks was my favorite wave on this island. Um, but this is where we got the shot with Jay and his horns. Let me see. Where's the Jay? I think he came back. Oh, Brett taking off on a good one. But I mean, look how perfect this wave is. Easy takeoff, and then it comes into a short, barreling wave. But I think in this gallery, was it this one? I think I got a shot of Jay with that helmet. I think we'll end it with that. I think it was this one. So maybe I just need to organize a little bit. So yeah, on Nusa Lembongan, they have the best food. I think this place was behind our hotel, and they had the best pad thai, they had the best curry, they had the best noodles. It was freaking amazing, and it's so freaking cheap. That's why we can keep that price pretty low. But yeah, so we snorkeled on this island. Was it our trip, you guys? Chris, Jay, uh, where we were talking about there's a venomous water snake, and it's a smaller one. It's a green water snake. And when we were snorkeling, um, we saw one. We saw one of those freaking poisonous snakes that are rare, and we were super stoked to see it. And as stupid tourists, we got close to it, and then it got freaking pissed off and it started chasing us. And if it were able to bite you between, because their fangs aren't super strong or long, but if it was able to bite you between your toenail, between your fingers or between your on the soft skin, usually between the fingers or down by between the toes, um, it could be fatal. And we knew that, but we still like we're being da da da. And and yeah, so yeah, 2015, and that thing turned around and started swimming towards us. Here we are snorkeling underwater, and this thing starts coming after us, and we like totally were backing away from it. And once it saw that, it scared the shit out of us that it like left us alone. But I will find the 2015 photos and get it back on this gallery. It belongs up here. But yeah, this is how shallow the way water is. I think this was Lacerations, which is a left. Um, but definitely super fun. And the boat rides out to the breaks. Super fun. It looks crowded, but there's always a ton of waves. There's a few takeoff spots. Um, but you know what? This trip, the best part about it, it's just we're all together, we're all experiencing something freaking pretty epic. And that's what I love about this trip. And the 2 weeks, it's a long time, you guys. But you got 2 days on the front end and 1 day on the back end. So that's 3 days of traveling because it takes about a day and a half to get there and then a day to get home. So if you had to take those 3 days out of the 2 weeks, you're left with, 11 days of adventure. So the question is, how many can we do it in 10 days? Ideally, we'd spend, the whole month down there. Um, the whole month of June. Shit, maybe I do that and you guys just come when you can. Um, but that is where that is. All right. So I'm gonna work the numbers, you guys. I'm gonna put it on Book Life and then we'll see what we can do. Um, but I think too, oh yeah, this was cool. So coming out of the small airport in oh gosh, Bima, and when we're leaving Lakey Peak on Sumbawa, everybody's saying bye to their family, but it looked like the Backstreet Boys were leaving some concert. But that was always cool. Such a small airport. I wonder if it's still that small. But this is real shit right here. Death penalty for those who carry drugs to Bali. So if you are local, you will definitely die. But foreigners usually have the governments chime in and won't kill you, but they'll put you in jail for life. So no drugs on this trip, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, so oh, that's right, Jay and the horns. There we go. So I knew we got a shot of Jay with the horns, and we'll end it with that. So let me piece something together. I'll put it out to you, you guys on Bug Life, and you guys let me know if we should pull the trigger and get it out there. But I, for one, would love to go back there. I miss everybody there, and I just miss the whole adventure aspect of it too. Um, but I will piece it together and see what it will cost and if we can pull it off in 13 days. Although I'll just do the 2 weeks and then we'll go from there because um I know there's people on the Cabo trip. They're going to want to do that too, but everybody's limited on time. So we'll see what happens. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for letting me go down back to memory lane. 2015 trip. That was another one. Was that when who took a shit in the river? Was it I forgot who took a shit in the river and somebody started swimming to that person and we had to yell at him, "Hey, get away. He's freaking taking a shit." Well, that's in 2015, I'm pretty sure. So those stories will come out once I dig them out. I'm gonna actually look for the hard drives right now. But yeah, so I'll keep you guys posted, and definitely more fun stories are coming your way. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next week. And by the way, October 4th and 5th, bodyboarding contest in Salt Creek. Would love to see you guys there. I'm going to be there pretty much all weekend. JG is going to be judging. Big Todd's coming into town. I let Joey know, the organizer, that I'm available to be on the mic, but I think he's got to work something out with permits because they usually don't allow, audio on the beach, but he's working that out. Either way, I would love to just hang out and see everybody. So if you guys have time, cruise on down to um, to Salt Creek on October 4th and 5th. Um, I am going to try to organize. I just need to freaking get confirmation with the Pizza Port in San Clemente. That's where we're gonna. I would like to show the No Friends Decade video. I think that's, gosh, is it 20 years? Is it 20 or 25-year anniversary of No Friends Decade? So that's going to be that's what I'm gonna try to do is organize a No Friends premiere at Pizza Port in San Clemente Saturday night early, maybe as soon as the contest ends. So we'll put it at 7 o'clock. So once we get off the phone, we'll get off here. I'm gonna call them and just nudge them a little because I have called and emailed twice, and I just need one TV in this one part of the restaurant where I can set up the DVD player, plug it into the TV, and get a speaker, and just have pizza and beer and shoot the shit during a pretty awesome bodyboarding weekend up in Orange County. So stay tuned for that. And I thought it was Ricky. So 2015 Indonesia stories will be coming up soon. For now, I'm out of here, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, I'll hit you guys sooner than later about Indonesia 2026. All right, I'm out.